Hi everyone, welcome to this morning's Talking Cafe on the 20th of January. My name's Melanie Kelly. I'm a community agent for East Mendip. I'm fairly new to the role. This is my first time doing a Talking Cafe, so please bear with me. Today we have a guest, Michelle Payne. She is Marketing and Fundraising Manager for YMCA Brunel Group here in Mendip and South Somerset. She is going to talk you through a presentation that she has about the wonderful work that the YMCA do in Somerset. And so I'll just introduce Michelle to you now. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Mel. All good, thanks. Everybody hopefully okay. Yeah, I'm new to this as well. So hopefully between us we'll do all right.
Yeah, just bear with us. Okay, I hope everybody's well today on this wet morning. But so I hope you enjoy the presentation. Any questions that you may have, you can pop in the chat box, and we'll ask them Michelle at the end. Okay,
yeah. No, lovely.
Right. So you can just go ahead with your presentation.
Okay. So this is just a brief introduction to the YMCA Brunel Group. So if we can have the first slide, please. I actually thought I'd start off with some interesting facts. So Sir George Williams, the founder of YMCA, was born in 1821 in Dulverton in West Somerset. The American YMCA invented both basketball in 1891 and volleyball in 1895. The red poppy was also introduced by an American YMCA worker, which then became a worldwide symbol for remembrance. In 1978, YMCA reputedly sued the village people for their song of the YMCA. And in 2020, it was reported that the village people wished to sue Donald Trump for the unauthorised use of the song during his election campaign. So moving on to the next slide, I just wanted to cover a little bit of our history. So the YMCA was founded in London in 1844. And then in 1860, YMCA Bath was founded. Then in October 1892, Wells YMCA was founded, which then became YMCA Mendip in 1991. YMCA Bristol merged with YMCA Bath to form YMCA Bath Group in 2012. And then in April last year, YMCA Bath Group and YMCA Mendip merged to become YMCA Brunel Group. You can also see at the bottom of the page the logo and how it's sort of transformed over the years, trying to become a bit more fresh and sort of with the times. But the actual triangle itself, the red triangle, is actually part of the logo that we have today, but you just can't sort of see it. But the actual YMCA itself, the logo is all made up of little triangles. So on to the next slide then, just giving you an idea of who we actually are. We're actually part of the oldest and largest youth charity in the world, covering 119 countries and giving 58 million people access to various services that we provide. All YMCAs are actually independent charities, so we respond to our own community's needs. We're governed by our own board of trustees and directors. We receive no funding from the YMCA Worldwide Federation or YMCA England and Wales. And we offer support regardless of age, race, gender, sexual orientation or socioeconomic background. There are actually currently 101 YMCAs throughout England and Wales, and in Somerset we're proud to work alongside YMCA Dulverton Group, who cover areas of North Somerset, Sedgemoor, West Somerset and parts of Devon. We also work alongside YMCA Taunton and YMCA Clevedon. So the way we act at YMCA is characterised by 5 strong and distinctive values that flow from our Christian ethos. We actively look for opportunities to make a transformative impact on young people's lives in the community, where we work and believe that every person is of equal value. We offer people space they need to feel secure, respected, heard and valued, and we always protect, trust, hope and persevere. We strive to inspire each person we meet to nurture their body, mind and spirit, and to realise their full potential in all they do. And we stand up for young people, speak out on issues that affect their lives, and help them to find confidence in their own voice. And finally, we are committed to the well-being of the communities we serve and believe in the positive benefit of participation locally and in the wider world. So now I'd like to move on just to give you an idea of what we currently do. I would like to point out, however, that this information is kind of based on 2019 because, as you imagine, 2020 wasn't a normal year. So we currently provide 28 accommodation units which house and support approximately 990 homeless people a year, aged 16 years and above. We have one health and wellbeing centre in Bath, giving access to gym facilities and various classes to over 2,000 people a year. And we have 2 hostels offering city centre stays in both Bath and Bristol for up to 189 visitors per night, 52 weeks of the year. We also provide preschool education and childcare through 9 nurseries across Bath and Wiltshire, providing full-time equivalent of 1,835 places per day for children aged between 6 months and 5 years. We have 3 out-of-school clubs providing breakfast and after-school care, and 1 holiday club offering places for children 4 to 11 years within Bath. We currently have 10 youth clubs across Mendip and South Somerset, supporting over 1,300 young people per year. And we have 4 young carers groups in Mendip and South Somerset, providing respite to over 64 young carers on a yearly basis. So just to give you an idea as to where our funding comes from, as I've said previously, we do not receive any funding from the YMCA Federation, but our charity generates income through many different channels. Firstly, through our social enterprises. So as I said previously, we have hostels in Bath and Bristol that have rooms for both single use and for groups, so hen nights and all sorts of things. We have a health and wellbeing centre in Bath, and we have 9 nurseries, mainly across Wiltshire, but there is 1 in Bath. And we've got 3 out-of-school clubs and 1 holiday club in Bath. We also receive money through our commission services, which is something called Pathway to Independence, so P2I, Platform for Life, and we also have adult housing services. We gain funding through applications to grant foundation programmes for both core funding and specific projects. And of course, we generate funds via our own fundraising efforts with the individual support of our community. So just focusing on our sort of core work that we do, P2I, Pathway to Independence, is a scheme in Mendip and South Somerset for 16 to 25-year-olds. We provide approximately 100 plus units with a range of supported housing projects alongside single, shared and emergency accommodation. This supported housing offers a home and somewhere that young people can get support to develop their skills, prepare for independent living and gain access to training, education, employment and social and leisure opportunities. So our Platform for Life is, we've got 4 shared houses within Payne for 18 to 25-year-olds that are actually already in education or employment, where they're offered a room with shared facilities. The staff are available to help support the young people in a transition to independent living. Also in Bath, we have a project called Nightstop. This is for supporting 16 to 25-year-olds in need of emergency accommodation, where they're offered a safe place to stay in host houses. We also offer a day stop support service within our Bath hostel site for young people who require help and guidance, or maybe just a cup of tea and a chat. Within Mendip and South Somerset, we also have provision for over 25s, where we have supported accommodation, and for those people that find themselves homeless. This accommodation offers a home and support needed to help a person basically get back on their feet. In Mendip, we also provide a variety of schemes to support people who are either homeless or threatened with homelessness. And these include a tenancy accreditation scheme, a private rented scheme, and also a deposit scheme. As mentioned previously, we have hostels in Bath and Bristol. The majority of it are commercial and open to everybody, but these commercial hostels allow us to maintain and fund single bedrooms within the hostel environment, where we work directly with vulnerable people. Moving on, just to give you an idea of our youth and community work in Mendip and South Somerset particularly. Youth work is defined as activities that intentionally seek to impact young people. Our youth clubs aren't just about hanging out and playing table tennis, like a lot of people think that that's what youth clubs are all about. We actually work predominantly with young people between 10 and 19 years old, but up to 25 years if they have special needs. I think the slide's stuck a little bit. There we go. Our holistic approach seeks to promote young people's personal and social development and enables them to have a voice, influence, and a place not only in their own community but in society as a whole. All young people, but particularly those at risk, are offered non-judgmental, inclusive and supportive sessions which help them build self-confidence, develop new skills, understand healthy relationships and create a sense of community. We provide a curriculum offering informal education, tackling social issues such as alcohol and drug misuse, antisocial behaviour, online safety, mental health, and increasingly child exploitation and county line concerns. So just as I'm talking to the community, I think it would be really beneficial to sort of give you an idea as to maybe how somebody could come and help YMCA. You could do some volunteering, donate or fundraise on our behalf. You could share your skills, maybe put on workshops, creative workshops and things when things allow again, offer mentoring sessions, get involved in our events. So unfortunately events last year were very scarce, but we do have an event coming up on March the 26th. Some of you may have already heard about a Sleep Easy event that we do. We did one last year, luckily just before lockdown happened, which took place outside Wells Cathedral. It was very successful. Over 60 people joined in, and we raised approximately £7,500, which was amazing. So we have another Sleep Easy coming up on March the 26th, but this time it's going to be a virtual one. More information will be coming to you with regards to that on our social media sites, so please sort of look out for that. You can support us through social media, so follow us, like our posts, share, and you can also support our social enterprises by utilising the facilities in our Health and Wellbeing Centre, staying in our hostels when visiting Bath or Bristol, or using one of our nurseries. And just in case anybody wants to contact us with regards to either this Talking Cafe today or any other information that you've seen, the details are on the screen. My name's Michelle Payne, so as Mel said, I'm the Marketing Fundraising Manager. My details are there, and also Trish Fairbeard, who's my line manager. She's based in Bath, but obviously more than happy to take any conversations that need to be had. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
I just seen if any were coming up in the chat box, but just going back to your Sleep Easy, I went up to watch, well, for half an hour just to see that in progress last year, and it was really impressive the amount of people that turned up and built their cardboard houses around the cathedral in Wales. So yeah, that was really good. And I know you've done a lot of work with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we had scouts involved. We had the Dean of Wells Cathedral, the Bishop of Taunton. We had so many different people from so many different backgrounds getting involved, which was amazing. What we're hoping this year with regards to the virtual Sleep Easy is that it actually opens up the opportunity for anybody to join in, because as long as you're not sleeping in an actual bed, obviously we don't know what the restrictions are going to be like by the end of March, but even if it's just a case of we still have to stay within, you know, our home environment, you could sleep in the garden, the garage,
Cool.
even in the front room. But what would be nice is the fact that, you know, especially if there's young children that want to get involved, they can, you know, create their own little house with a box, which I know kids love. And maybe we'll even do a competition to see who does the best box, the best, you know, design. So it gives more people to get it. It gives them the opportunity to get more involved this year if that's what they want to do. So hopefully that will work well.
Yeah, it sounds good fun. I might get involved this year.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Okay. Just another question I have for you is with the people you support in your housing projects, how long do they usually spend with you?
It can vary depending on the individual's needs and their circumstances. Our current contract covers a minimum of 9 months, but some of our young people can stay for up to 2 years, obviously depending on their needs. All our residents complete something called a Momo Scheme, which is move on, move out. And that's usually done over a sort of a 12-week period, but that also depends. And it's a sort of a modular resettlement programme that supports residents towards goals of independent living. So it covers things like health and well-being, housing options, budgeting, employment and training, and sustaining a tenancy.
That sounds really good.
Any time between 9 months and 2 years is sort of average.
Normal, yeah. That's really impressive, Michelle. I'm just looking at some comments in the comment box. What kind of support do you do with young carers? You did mention carers in the...
Yeah, I mean, obviously during last year, you know, we couldn't meet socially. But normally they hold one in Mendip and one in South Somerset. There's 2 groups, one for sort of younger carers and sort of maybe up to about sort of 12, 13, and then another one for sort of slightly older carers, sort of 14 to 18. And I suppose it's a bit like a youth club, really, in the fact that it gives the young people the respite, gives them opportunity to socialise, you know, learn new skills. But it's more honed into their specific needs as young carers. So as I said, that happens in Mendip and South Somerset. So there's one that happens in Yeovil and one that happens near Shepton, and the details are on our website. So you know, if anybody's interested in that. During lockdown, things were sort of more virtual. So you know, they would have had virtual youth clubs where young people could log on and join in, but they were also supported by food boxes and through phone calls and things, just checking in obviously to make sure that they were okay, and signposted if necessary to other partners.
That's amazing, because there's not an awful lot of an awareness about young carers, I don't think, really out there. So it's good that you're supporting them. So
yeah, as I said, roughly speaking, in 2019 there was about 64 carers that we worked with, but you know, as I said, that can vary.
Yeah, that's brilliant. We have another question from Bridget Harvey. Do you have a referral process?
So with regards to our housing, when someone is threatened with homelessness or it becomes homeless, they have to contact their local council. So Mendip District Council, South Somerset District Council, obviously within this area. They meet on a weekly basis and talk to partner agents and make sure that the people that we are housing go in their right environments, because obviously depending on the needs. So we have some housing that is supported 24/7 and we have other properties that is shared with sort of smaller rooms within one house, but those people are sort of, they're just checked in on sort of every week just to check that they're okay. So it does vary, but the referral process is to basically, we have details on our website, so you can click on links in order to be able to contact people if you have any concerns. but it's to initially contact the council, who have specific departments to deal with homeless people, and then they'll talk to partners and we'll discuss between us all where people are best placed.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you. I have another question for you now. How has the situation affected the work you do with the coronavirus and the pandemic? And
so initially, when the first lockdown happened, we only had 1 out of our 9 nurseries open, just specifically for key worker children. I'm pleased to say now that obviously all the nurseries are now open again to support parents that are working and what have you. Both our hostels unfortunately had to close to the public, but that did give us an opportunity. So our Bath hostel, we're housing more homeless people. The Bristol Wing hostel has been handed over to Bristol City Council for the time being, and to help with rough sleepers. So that unfortunately, although we're not generating an income in that sense, they're still being put to good use to support people. Our health and wellbeing centre had to close, but they offered online classes. Our youth clubs and obviously young carers groups had to close, but they were offered online sessions. So they, log on once a week. They play games, do quizzes, do competitions, things like that. So they tried to sort of obviously keep that contact going, but just had to adapt it to the circumstances. And then obviously with regards to our housing, that remained the same. We're still supporting people day after day, but that came with an awful lot more issues. So with houses of multiple occupancy, all those young people that lost jobs, that kind of missed out on the socialising and the education and the training and everything that they had. So we were really lucky that we received quite a bit of funding from Somerset Community Foundation, Tesco's, Neighbourly and Western Power. So particularly over the Christmas period as well, which is obviously can be a really tough time for lots of people. We were able to buy additional activities, so do an awful lot more cooking, creative activities, help young people if they wanted to take up a new hobby. And then over Christmas, we were also able to, prepare a lovely Christmas meal and, offer activities over Christmas to kind of obviously keep people's spirits up. So, some of our work had to alter.
Like everybody's, we've all had to adapt in very different.
And obviously the income side of things has been tough because obviously a lot of our social enterprises, particularly in Bath, just aren't generating the money at the moment. But yeah, the support's still there, so that's all good.
That's brilliant. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions in the actual chat box, but my final one then. I understand from previous conversations with you that quite a number of I've written a couple of questions down, so just bear with me. Quite a number of YMCAs have merged over the last few years. What was the driving force of YMCA Mendip and YMCA Bath Group coming together?
Yeah, so we're in contact with all YMCAs across the country, and we can offer support to each other, whenever. But we've always sort of worked quite closely with YMCA Bath for quite a number of years. And we actually joined forces to combine our skills and knowledge in order to build on our resilience and more importantly, strengthen our abilities to provide services to our community. So as I said previously, a lot of what Bath does is social enterprises. So they're offering services to the community which help bring in income. And then that is fed back into the charity and the work that we do. In Mendip and South Somerset, we have more commissioned work and we do an awful lot more funding and applying for funding for things. So it was a case of amalgamating all of that to make us stronger. So we had, real strong income streams. Obviously, officially merging last year brought its troubles in the fact that trying to bring two organisations together during a pandemic. and the fact that our social enterprises aren't making any money at the moment. You know, it's all sort of added to that. But yeah, we're working towards you know, a lot more projects going forward as one organisation. So that's all good.
That's really good. Brilliant. That's fantastic. Thank you. And just one other comment was in here, which I can agree with. I didn't realise the YMCA did so much. Somebody commented, and I didn't either. It's amazing the work you're doing, and I think it's really good to do today and to let people know exactly what you do. And
yeah, I mean, I think, you know, most people have heard of YMCA, and whether or not it's because of the Village People song in 1978.
Yeah, exactly. I always think of that song.
Or whether it's because they've got a local YMCA, but I think that's the difficulty in the fact that I've said previously, all YMCAs are individual charities, so we are responsive to our own community's needs, and so that can vary, you know. So we've got some that have colleges and do an awful lot more youth work or housing. Nurseries. There's so many different sort of elements to the work that we do, and some people their core work is more focused on one area than another. But at the end of the day, we're all, you know, we're all wanting to improve our community and particularly help young people to sort of reach their full potential. So
no, it's amazing. You're doing amazing work. I'm really impressed. So yeah, so that's, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or do you feel?
No, I think we've covered everything. Yeah. I mean, you know, please by all means access our social media or our web pages, and sort of have a look at the type of work, you know, that we do in sort of more detail. Or please by all means, you know, my contact details are at the end. So you know. You can by all means contact me. But yes, we have a Facebook page for both Brunel Group and for Mendip. So yeah, depending on, you know, if you wanted to know specific information about Mendip and South Somerset, but the YMCA Brunel Group website, Facebook page, everything covers. We've got Twitter and we've got Instagram as well. So yeah,
brilliant. And I'd imagine if any more questions come in, I think they can still, comments can still be added once this goes.
That's fine. Yeah,
after we go live, I think, yeah, more questions may come in, and I might refer, or I'll find out the answers and get them replied to if they come in later, if people look at this after we've been live. So yeah, and hopefully, hopefully this helps people understand the work you do and helping young people across Somerset and further afield. So that's amazing. Thank you for joining me today.
Okay.
I hope it wasn't too bad for our first, my first talking cafe, and
it wasn't too bad. I think you did all right.
No, it went really well. Your presentation was brilliant. Thank you. I'm just checking now that there's nothing else. No, they're putting up behind the scenes, putting up all the links for the YMCA, so that's good. And yeah, so I think we can finish the talking cafe now for today, and thanks again, and I might get you on again someday. Who knows?
You never know.
No.
Thanks, Mel.
All right, so I'll just end now, and I'll just say goodbye to everybody, and thank you for joining us if you're watching live, and if not, I hope you enjoy it when you catch up later. And yeah, thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Take care. Bye.